and bodies of light. Grand night, grand night, grand night to you all. I greet you always in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. Akiva Textry, also known as Celestial Earth, right here and now, here and now. I don't know why that just jumped out. But peace, love, and light to you now. I'm sending out, sending out the remote, the sensories, the telepathic communicators to any of you who may have saw the video earlier and wanted to catch back up on the Saturday Night Live. Welcome to the Saturday Night Live. I haven't done one in a while, but welcome in, wherever you begin. Come on in, come on in. So I'm just here in the energies. I'm gonna give it some time for some people to come on in, and so we can discuss this energetic retribution, because it is a thing. Peace, love, and light. Greetings, greetings, Nafisa. Is that Nafisa? Peace, love, and light. And to Clay, welcome in. What do you say? Hey, hey, hey. So we are going over a lot of the energies, right? Let me make sure I do some housekeeping, cleaning in the meantime until some people get notified for the Saturday Night Live. And I know it's late. I said 9 o'clock, but I know as y'all see, as I see, these accelerated times is not playing. Like, you turn around, you blink, and the time just like that. Next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock. Next thing you know, it's 9:20, right? So either way, we're here, and we're going to really go into, we're going to have a conversation about what's happening with these influx of energies. I know everybody see it everywhere. We're seeing the aurora bora, we're seeing the solar flares, the CMEs, all of these names, class X, class this and that we're all seeing that's coming in. And it's really important that we see how we play a part in this. It's really important that we see our part, because it's affecting all of us. I'm seeing it all across the board. I'm hearing it from some of those in our community that are saying, hey, I see that something is definitely shifting. Yeah, duh, for some of us who have been together for a while, because we are in the transition space of this, right? We are in Anubis. It's transition time. So anyway, before we get into that, because I'll be ready to just dive into the esoterics and all of that stuff, right? Today did not go by fast. Oh, it did go. And as I'm reading that now, I'm like, duh, I didn't bring my glasses. So maybe if I got a little helper inside, one of my little people, see if my little ones can bring me my glasses, if they could even find it. With that said, housekeeping. I feel like there was something I left out in the first. I know we're talking about the workshop. So while you're here, Nafisa, you will be glad to know that our workshop for the 5D calendar, let me hold it up so we remember what it looks like. Get your calendars out if you have it sitting down somewhere on a table, if you have it put away in a safe space. It's time to take it out. Even though it's the end of the year for us, we're all the way in the back at Anubis. We're in our 11th month, which is why I'm doing this on the 11/11 portal for the 5D 11/11 portal. That is next week, Saturday. It'll be the 11th day of the 11th month. So look out for that. Look out for the time. I'll probably put it in the groups. If you're in any of our groups, it'll definitely be in there, what time it will be. More likely it's going to be in the evening, where we can all be able to be a part of it when everybody's done with their deeds, their do's and their deeds for the day. So that's coming up. We also have the sacral chakra workshop coming up, the 3-day one. I know we did a 1-day one because it was very needed before I went to Jamaica. It was very needed. And Spirit was guiding me to make sure I say, hey, have this available. And we did 1 day. We did like an accelerated pace, 1 day of the sacral chakra. So we're going to have the 3-day sacral chakra workshop coming up, and the solar plexus. We're going to be doing this within this month before we get to March. All right, because March is the end of our 6 month window. March is where Third Eye Atlas comes into a close encounter with Jupiter. March is where the eclipse is pretty much happening. Our eclipse window, it takes us into March, or into, I should say, Pisces, from Virgo to Pisces, South Node in Virgo to North Node in Pisces. That's the trajectory that we're on, and that is the ecliptic path. As you can see, that Third Eye Atlas is traveling, as it has had its encounters with all of our personal planets. So that's what we have coming up. You can look out for that I've been transitioning since I've come back from Jamaica, taking that week off and just integrating back with what needs to be done. So these are the dates that I have that of what's coming up, what to look out for. And this is really going to help us to peel the layers from root chakra. And we also have the Divine Chakra Moon workshop coming up in March with the March full moon. And that's really, if you haven't taken it, you're really going to want to take this workshop this time. If you haven't done anything, any of the shadow work or anything, you're really going to want to take it, because this closes out that 6 month window of everything that's been happening. This helps you to affirm and confirm and really transition and transcend into your next timeline during this bifurcation split. Greetings, greetings, peace, love, and light. Welcome in. Come on in. Right. And so Ashe. So all of this is happening at a very pivotal point in time, and it is really amplified right now with these solar flares. So anything else, spirit, that you have? So that's the updates on what's to come. I'll give more information about that. You will see some videos come out. There's some videos I have from Jamaica that kind of shows the journey. So I'm going to be releasing some of those videos as well within probably over the weekend. Over the next 2 days, you may see those videos coming out. I realized that I have a new moon video that I did while I was there 3 days before the new moon, when it was the crown day, and I never released it. I was going through the videos and I was getting ready to do a post new moon video, because there's information that I really wanted to highlight of what is happening. And turned out I already did one. So spirit is like, look, you already have one, just give it. So just look out. I'm saying that so you look out for those videos. You'll probably see a few of them coming out, and you're gonna see the journey of what had been happening while I was in Jamaica, including not just helping that family, but you can kind of see what was happening as the ancestors were guiding me, the spirits lining me up with another person there, where we were going to have a possible collaboration with our retreat. And that didn't really work out, but maybe it'll circle around at another point in time. But you'll see the journey. I'm not going to give it away. You'll see the journey and what actually happened. It started off on the right foot, then went left, and we just have to wait till it comes right again. Ashe. What kind of classes is it again? It's the workshop. The Divine Chakra Moon workshop is more of a course for you to get in touch with your energy centers. We utilize the energy centers of your 7 chakras, where we actually talk about 9, because your soul star above and your earth star below, as well as working with the cosmos, the celestial bodies, because all of that is energy. It's all intrinsic and interactive, and it's part of our guiding tool and our cosmic compass, if you will, our energetic compass that guides us through this entire realm, so to speak, while we're here on earth, as we are portals and channels of light. It helps us to understand how we use our channel of light, if that makes sense. And simply put, it's a shadow working tool. So what the work that every time I do the course, someone always discovers something. All of us, every time there's something that is unveiled. There's a layer that is lifted. There is a lock that is picked, so to speak, in your consciousness. And so you're really unlocking soul codes within your soul. So it is thank you. I got my glasses so I can read what you're saying. Hoo-hoo. So it's really helping you to get to that next level. For those of us that are feeling stuck in some things, or feeling the friction, the frictional disturbance, the energetic disturbance, which is, by the way, all happening for the good. We all chose this, every bit of it. And now it is time to face what we have come here to face and transcend and deal with. It's part of us passing that timeline, right? The bifurcation split, the bifurcation that is happening is actually a bifurcation bridge. And the more we understand this, the easier we can get through this ease within the earth as she's turning, as the earth is turning over, and naturally, as we're going to talk about, naturally cleansing its parasitic energy. Believe me, the desperate energies are quivering in their boots, including any desperate energies that may be sitting in you, in our blind spots, right? This is why a lot of times we get to fight. One of the things that I always find is that when people are ready to sign up for courses, a lot of times they get pulled out at the last minute, like something comes up, because those energies do not want you to tap in. Those energies are shaking in their boots and they're afraid of you finding another part of you, because then you remove that parasitic energy that has its grip in you through your wounds. This is why it's really, really important to take a look, to take a deeper look. I was going to say taper. Taper is take a deeper look inside of you, right? And as I said that, I realized, like, some of you, just like what just happened to me, some of you may have words that kind of bunch together like that a lot, because the influx of energy, the way information is coming so fast, it's faster than you can get it out. By the time you get it out, it comes out like a tongue twister, like blah, blah, blah. Right? And one of the things that I'm finding right now, even before I was getting on here and preparing to come and do the live, was I realized that translation has been a thing for me. Which is why I've been slowed up in even my writings. And when I get certain downloads, and I would transcribe so much. Lately, it's been a little bit, I wouldn't say slower, but I've been a bit more hesitant, because the translation, it's like something's getting stuck in translation. It's very clear here in my consciousness, in my mind. However, when I express it, it comes out very, I want to say sometimes too esoteric. Like when I look back at my writing, sometimes when I look back at a video, because I watch the videos, because sometimes things come out that I need to hear, that I didn't hear it while I was saying it to you. It was just in flow. So when I look back, it's like, that's not quite how I heard it in my mind. But that's how it was coming out. And the same thing with when I'm writing, and I said, okay, there's something simple being shown to me. I sit down to write this simple thing that comes out very like, sometimes it's like when I read it, I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, why is it so esoteric? So I even understand if some of you watch some of the videos and are like, what? Come again? You may have to watch it again. Like, what? Because it's being expressed in a certain way. So bear with me and give the love forward as I work through this, because I literally just caught it tonight and I'm working through it. So I'm going to do my best as I'm explaining, to let it come out as clear as I hear it in here, because somewhere it's getting lost in translation, or caught in a different tongue in translation, if that makes sense. Is it on Zoom? Yes, it is. Yes, see, I got the glasses. I'm still fighting to see, right? I'm peeking to see. Is it on Zoom? Ooh, might as well keep it on. I could see. Yes, it is on Zoom. I send everyone the link. So if you email me anything that you're interested in, if you want to do the 5D calendar workshop, which I've been talking about only all year, last year, it's here. So we're going to really tap into this. Those of you who have been excited to get your calendars and like, okay, now what am I looking at? Or what are we doing here? So we're going to have that to break down how to, even though it's pretty, when you look at it, it's pretty. When I say it to you too, you're going to be like, oh, okay, it's really functional. So you'll be able to utilize it day to day. So we're going to go over that on 11/11. That's next week, Saturday. Ashe, 11/11 according to our 5D calendar. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? Let me show you. Don't believe me? Just watch. This is the month we're in right now. Anubis. which is known as Aquarius according to the Greek name, right? And so we are here on 1, 2, 3. We are on day 4. Just to give y'all a little sample, we're here. This is day 4. This is Saturday, right? Also known as our solar plexus day. That's why it's yellow. And 11/11 is here next Saturday. So this Saturday, next Saturday is the 11th day of the 11th month of Anubis, aka Aquarius, right? And right below that, you'll see that it's the 31st. So today is the 24th of what they call February, and on this day, it would be the 31st. So if you want to mark it in your calendar of February, it's going to be the 31st. If you want to mark it on your 5D calendar, it's on the 11/11 portal, and you'll see that little portal right there, reminding you that, hey, it's the 11/11 portal. So I'm excited for us to finally get into this, and I'm even excited to start using it some more. That's why I intentionally chose the date of 11/11, because I realized I need to be using this calendar a little bit more as well. I haven't been using it as much as I need to, and it's a tool to help you get off of the old timeline, to help get you into the divine time and so forth. So join us on that. That will be on the 11/11. The other courses, the Sacral Workshop is a 3D 3-day. 3D as in 3-day. It's a 3-day workshop focusing completely on the sacral chakra, which is the emotional body. And for those of us who've been getting the emotional updates, it's going to help you really extract the information out of the feelings that you're getting. It's going to help you walk on water, which is to walk on your emotions, not ignore them, but to extract what you need to get out of it, because there is information. There is, what do I call it? Indicators. Your feelings are indicators. So we're going to tap into that sacral for what it is. What is the sacral here for us? What is this doorway into our consciousness? We're going to tap into the blocks of the sacral, which is guilt. Our number one block of the sacral is guilt. A lot of people are riddled in guilt for all kind of different things. And you'll be surprised at the guilt that you carry. I'm always surprised when I notice it, right? These are not just self-help classes. They will help yourself, but it's really to get you to dive deep into your soul, to open those doors within your soul's consciousness, so you can know thyself, because that is how you're going to navigate through these frequencies. The ones who are knowing, who are waking up and knowing that they are the one. You are the ones that are going to be able to dismantle, like when Neo did like this in the Matrix. You're going to be able to disarm the attacks, because there are energetic attacks. Those desperate energies that want to still stand in control are going to do their best. And even within you, even through you, because of the wounds. So the best way to navigate, or the best way to armor yourself, is to not have these wounds. To address them is to not have them. You dissolve them when you address them. When you transmute fear-based thoughts and feelings into the love frequency. That is essentially what we do in the Divine Chakra Moon Workshop, when we utilize a tool particularly called the Pyramid Transmutation. And for those who've been in there, they know what that's like. And that's really working with those same 4 chakras that I was talking about, these 4 layers. This is what's going to be happening this month. And this is why I really am pushing to do the sacral and the solar plexus workshop within this month, because we are working through these 4 layers, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart, in order to get into our heart expansion. I don't talk enough about the chakras as I should, the energy centers, but it is very important. And it is very important. So if you can get into one, out of anyone, I've been doing it since 2021. I do it quarterly. Every quarter I do the Divine Chakra Moon Workshop. There's always one in March, June, September, and December. So when you get into it, you're going to start extracting what you need to extract out of your soul as you unlock your soul code and find the power and the strength that is in you. And so ultimately becoming empowered. It is the perfect uh, death to rebirth transformation that is aligned with what Pluto does. Speaking of Pluto, that's where we are right now, where Pluto is in Aquarius right now. So all of our personal planets, as I said earlier, are being passing through that Pluto checkpoint, passing through the revelation. Now it's being revealed. They've had a close encounter with Third Eye Atlas. Let's not forget about Third Eye Atlas, the what I call the cosmic messenger, or the cosmic Jehudi, the that brought the emerald tablets and the ruby tablets and the emerald tablets, that had an encounter with these personal planets: Venus, Mars, Earth, the Sun. Right around the Melissa hurricane, that same day it was pivoting around the sun. Third Eye Atlas, which is unlocking dormant codes as it passes through. It's basically giving our solar system an upgrade. Right? I'm doing my best to be very simple in the translation, not be too esoteric. Y'all let me know. Let me know if I say something too esoteric, you know, that I could break down a little bit more. I've been more sensual lately, Ashe. That's because you've been invited more into your feelings. Sensual is sensations. It is our senses, everything that we get, and that's through our nervous system. Thank you for bringing that up, because everything that's happening is passing through our nervous system. Our nervous system is the medium, the mediator, if you will, between what is happening in our mind-body complex and the ethers, the cosmos of time. Our nervous system is what's helping us to calibrate the frequencies. Everything has to translate through our nervous system. So it's very vibrational. This is why vibrations are very important. They've always been. We are simply becoming more aware of it. Everything has always been energy, which means everything has always been vibrational. So when we fall into alignment, when we step into alignment and stand into alignment, then we stand in our assignment. That's what all of this is about. It's about alignment. This is no longer what we're seeing. And this is why sensation is very important. We have to sense, because our third eye is about inner senses. So whatever you get through your nervous system has to be translated into your internal system. And this is your inner seeing, this is why a lot of your abilities are coming online even more. Your inner sight, your inner hearing, your inner smelling, you're even smelling things that are giving you information. All of these senses are giving you information. Everything is information, including these solar flares, these light codes. Energy is information. Light, energy, information is synonymous. That's why I always say it like that. Light, energy, and information is the same thing. So when we look at it like that, we realize that all these light codes that are coming in is information coming into our field. We live in a field of energy, which means we live in a field of information. We are a field of energy, which means we are a field of information. It's one information to another. It's one energy charge to another. Right? And so when we learn this, when we see this, everything just seems so much more, how do I say, self-explanatory. Like, it's just more digestible. We're not looking at, why is this happening to me in the earth? It's asking it in a different way. Like, what does this information come to tell me? Instead of in a victimhood state of, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening in the earth? No, it's, what is this information coming to bring? And this is the responsibility of the revelation of truth. Not many can handle the book of Revelation. And I'm not talking about the book outside of you. I'm talking about the book inside of you. There's an internal book. You are the book of life. So, and I say that so we don't get too carried away sometimes with the technology of, what they call it, Chat GPT and all that. And believe me, I'm not knocking all of that either, because there's information in that information. But we have to read between the lines. We can't rely on it. We have to know that that's the same way you trust in pulling up those Chat GPTs and AI information, which, by the way, they have information because they have collected so much data from all of us. Your phone is a chip. It has, as much as you walk around with it, it collects data from you. That's how they know what ads to send you. So it's a collection of your consciousness, if you will. That's why it can spew it back out to you. All right. And so I say that so that we understand the same way that you trust those AI devices is the same way that you have to trust the AI in you, which is the all-seeing eye. There's many things that you can call the AI, ascension instruments, which is, that's what my jeweler calls his ascension instruments. Ancestral intelligence, which is not just about ancestors that passed. This is ancestors is about an energy encoded in your DNA. I want to say that again. Energy encoded in your DNA. See, we got to change our perspectives. It's not just about your grandparents that have transitioned or your great grandparents that have transitioned. It is about the information encoded in your DNA through their existence into yours, and now you are the ancestors in time. All of this is, and so you become ancestral intelligence. Ashe, I love it. You love it. I like it. I love it for you. And so, oh yeah, I loved it too when he told me that. Oh, what he call it? Ascension instruments. So I say all that so that I'm bringing us to understanding a different scope, so we understand how this light is coming in, what it's doing, what it's bringing, the light flares, the solar flares. It is information that is upgrading you. It is upgrading the earth. It's upgrading how we exist in the earth. It is helping us. The light is saying, let me help you. I'm here to help, no matter how ugly it looks. And this is why we can't walk around with sympathy. We can't walk around feeling sorry for the earth or for even ourselves, because we fall into victimhood. Or if we feel sorry for others, we fall into trauma bonding. Rather than dealing with the trauma, rather than trauma revealing, we fall into trauma bonding. There's a difference. Rather than healing, we fall into this trauma dancing around, what I call demon dancing. And we don't deal with our internal demons, which are our unhealed wounds. This, again, is why the classes, the course that I do is that important. It is important that we face those traumas. Not just to say, oh, I need therapy or I got inner childhood trauma. But yes, that is a part of it too. There's inner childhood trauma. There's past life trauma. There's karmic trauma. There's different levels of trauma, and it's all being exuded through us because it's held in memory banks in our soul. And the subconscious is the memory bank. The subconscious is not just things that we do unconsciously. It's not just things inside of us that we don't know about, which the memories are that, because you don't remember, right? But it holds the memories. It holds information. Intuitive, when you have intuitive information, it is from the subconscious mind that is getting direct divine revelation from your superconscious mind that drops into your subconscious mind, and therefore it happens intuitively. It is also linked to certain memory codes inside of your DNA, your cosmic blueprint, your spiritual blueprint, whatever you want to call it. And it unlocks when we have certain experiences. And that's why certain experiences have to happen. And I was saying that earlier, literally right before going on, and really speaking harshly. I was being very tough. What do you call it? Tough love with myself, as well as just with all of the collective misappropriated egos of the world, because we really got to allow that ego death to happen. We have to be willing to say, hey, you know why you're here. Get yourself up off the floor. Stop the pity party. Stop the, oh, but this happened to me. It doesn't matter. You came here to have this experience. You came here to have the experience because the experience is an alarm clock. It came to wake you up. You came here to have it so that when that experience happens, it's not supposed to, you're not supposed to be beaten down about it. You're supposed to say, oh, I remember. It's supposed to be an alarm clock that jogs the memory keys inside your soul, inside your subconscious mind, that draws from the superconscious mind of everything of your spiritual self, of why you're here. So you can remember and transcend what you came here to do. So I say all that, and I said some harsher words than that. It was, it sounds real nice right now because I was letting whatever word come out, like, words like basically fuck your feelings, like get over yourself, because I'm sharing with you, this is how I have to look in the mirror and speak to myself. If something comes up, if something's from a hurt or a pain, I acknowledge that hurt, I acknowledge that pain, and say, oh, okay, that's what it is. That's what the hurt is. That's what the pain is. Well, you're not going to hold me down. I know that I came here for that hurt. That hurt is my alarm clock. That's my experience that's here to teach me wisdom so that I can act knowledge, is what I was saying. I was like, you better act like you know. I'm speaking into the mirror. I'm speaking to you because I'm speaking to me. You better act like you know. Acknowledging is acting like you know. And I don't mean pretend acting. I mean, tell yourself, you better get it together. You better act like you got some darn sense. If you say that you know this, then act like you know it. Add to that knowledge. Just like you add, when I speak about adhering, is adding to your hearing. Add to your hearing, act upon your knowledge. When you know something, to a lot of people out there, gaining all of this knowledge and doing nothing about it is not helping. We have to have a responsibility, be able to respond to the knowledge and act like you know. Stop doing the same thing over and over again because that's what everybody else is doing. No, act like you know that you know that you know. And this is what you got to do to tell your misappropriated ego to sit down. But they did this to me and this is not fair. Life is very fair. Sit your ass down. Sit down, ego. You looking for some attention. You looking for a reason to have a narrative to justify your reaction to some victimhood, unhealed wound. Now acknowledge that there's a hurt there. Reveal what it's there for so you can move past it, and there lies your healing. Instead of looking for a healing, look for the revealing. Right? Yes, Clay, get out of that inverse reality. Getting out of that inverse reality is challenging. And I hear myself whining as I say that. Yeah, because that part of you that wants to be, there's that part of us that wants to, let's say, be the victim and not have accountability. It's like, oh, but this happened. No, get up and get out of that. That's an inverse reality. That's not real. That is happening to you. I know it feels real on the outside, but really think about it. Really, when you remember that you're a multidimensional being, you remember that you're here for a deeper purpose. So all of this stuff that's happening in this lifetime at a surface level is neither here nor there. And you get on your job. You get on your spiritual, assignment and alignment. You remember that everything is about what you are aligned to. Back to the alignment. It's a vibrational match. What are you aligned with? Not what you say you're about. This is not the age of, oh, I'm going to plan to do this and I'm going to plan to do that. The energies are saying, but this is not what you've aligned with. Based upon your actions, you're out of alignment. And so that means there's incoherency, so there's inconsistency, and the universe is going to reward you with that. You are going to get what you have aligned yourself with, whether consciously or unconsciously. Ashe? So, as I say that, this brings me to what's happening with these solar flares. So, with what's happening, I got to pause. I got to slow down because it will go esoteric. There are Just like how I say there's energetic hotspots in the land, there are landlocks where there is resistance to the light. So we all know the light flares, the light codes are coming in. You may have different words for it, but it is with the understanding. I want to say to us right now, understand to overstand to understand what is happening at a global level, at a geological level, at an earthly level that is happening within. Make sure you parallel it to yourself. As it's happening on the outside, so it is within us. Right? Matter of fact, just consider yourself being in the earth and of the earth. The earth itself is an atom in the universe. The earth itself is its own soul within the universe. We are cells on top of this body. We are cells of this one body of earth. Just like we got multiple cells running through us. The earth is a body and it has multiple cells, and we are those multiple cells. So everything is vibrational. Everything that's happening, that is passing through these energy waves, the waves of energy that are passing through, the electromagnetic frequencies, charges, that's what's being released into the earth. And so as that's happening, there's this light penetration, as I said. And if you pay attention, spirit guide me, let's simplify this. These particular areas in the earth where there are disturbances, where you are seeing geological changes, these things are very much intrinsic and interconnected. I want us to understand that. Walk with me through this, because the downloads that was coming today with it was like, whew. They're very connected to these particular places in the land, and you can do your research, as I said earlier, and find out. So if there is an earthquake, if there is a cyclone, if there is a hurricane, tornado, whatever it is because there is friction in that land. It is because there is resistance in that land, where there has been a lack of humanity. There has been torturing or an extraction of being humanitarians or humane. There were inhumane acts. Let's just put it that way. There were inhumane acts that were done in that particular part of the land, and there has been no accountability. It has just been held there like in a land lock, energetically locked into the land as a collective imprint in that land. So what happens is, as the light, let me put this down, as the light is coming through into the earth, into our field, it's going through and it is going to be blocked by these resistance spots, is what I'm going to call it. So they're blockages that won't allow the light to come through effortlessly or with ease, because either way the light is going to come through. And the best way that I could see it is like, I was explaining that it looks like Wolverine when he was trying to get to Jean and he was just being blasted. So these landlocked, these places, particles of resistance in the land are being blasted with the light, and it's hitting this resistance. And so it causes this friction. And it's not for bad or doomsday or to get back at for what has been done. It's not a tit for tat. It is all energetic. The light has to be able to flow through. And so it's removing the parasitic energy that has been, because that's another layer to it. The parasitic energy has been able, just like it has its grips in us through our wounds, it has its grips in particular parts of the land. It's almost like these parts where the land can put their landmarks up, sticking their flag, like colonizers sticking their flag wherever they want to. And so the parasitic energy gets to, let's say, own that part of the land, even though they really don't, but they get to, I want to say like dominate or move. They hold something there. They got their hooks in it. So as the earth is passing through this light, it breaks it up. It breaks it up. and it's losing its grip in that land. It's the cleansing. It's part of a natural cleansing. The earth is naturally cleansing itself of its parasitic energy in order to continue with the planetary ascension. And it is for all of us. We who are cells on this earth, the same thing is happening with us. Wherever there are any unhealed wounds, those are points of resistance in our mind body complex. And so as the light passes through, these become frictional spots in our body, in our mind, in our life, world, and affairs. So wherever there are any disturbances, wherever there are any hurricane, tornadoes, earthquaking, ground shaking, right? The foundations are being shook. Wherever that is happening in your life, it is because of the light. It is the influx of the light, right? And so Cancer has been delivered to you for a reason. Yes, I think that's what you're saying. Is it saying Cancer has been delivered to you for a reason? It is, and I don't think you're talking about the sign Cancer. You may be talking about the dis-ease. Let me know, clarify if you're talking about the dis-ease of Cancer, because it is, that's something I've always mentioned. It is about, what do I call it again? Rapid multiplication. That's not the word, but that's what's coming to me right now. It's when you are overcompensating, like usually people who develop this dis-ease in their body is because there is overcompensation, rapid, where cells are rapidly multiplying, overactive. I think that's what I call it, overactive. Oh, dis-ease. Thank you for clarifying. So yes, it has been delivered to you for a reason. More likely it has been attracted even through you because of where there is overcompensating in a particular part of your life. And wherever the Cancer shows up in the body, that tells you what area it is in your mind, if you know how to utilize your energy centers. So for example, if it shows up in the, most people have what, breast cancer or chest cancer or something like that. So it's usually, that's the heart chakra. If it's in that area, then most of those people have been overcompensating in their heart chakra, in their consciousness, not just here in their heart. The heart, this is the energy center. It's the doorway to your consciousness. So you would have to look into this part. This is why we dig deeper into this with the workshops, where you can understand what each energy center is consciously, what it stands for. So judgment, the heart chakra is usually about judgment. Not about that, but it's about integrity. It's about, in its highest point, being in authenticity. Being in the love frequency. It is about forgiveness, constantly giving love forward. It is about understanding. And so what blocks it is grief. Grief is the #1 block. And grief happens because of loss, right? There's so much we can go into it, but yes, it is delivered to you for a reason. And the rain pours some more. You know, it actually just started raining right before I came out here, but it was drizzling and now it's pouring down. So the energies are saying, yep, let it pour on down. As it rains, it pours. And that's what's happening right now. Everything is opening up, this influx of light, and it's just pouring in on the earth, a downpour of light, energy, and information that is really here to help us. It's the information being brought to you, special delivery being brought to you to clear up these particles of resistance so that more light can flow through. So you are operating as a pure channel, a portal of light. And the more of us that are operating as healed, pure channels of light, the more light comes into the planet that helps accelerate the ascension into 5D. We help push the timeline, quantum leaping, simply by doing our soul work into the next dimension. So anywho, I really want to focus on what's happening with the earth so we can understand, overstand, and understand these because I want us to be able to address it a certain way, right? And I may speak about this some more because this is how it was being shown to me. If any of you have groups of threes that you come together, or just any groups that you have that you come together and you do what I call working on the light grid, because that's what you're doing. You're activating the light grid when you come together and you work collectively. It activates the divine synergy, the collective energy, pouring into the light grid. And so with intention, you can send it to particular areas. So if any of you form in groups, I would say that when you hear of disasters, send your love and light to those areas in the land. Hear me out. It is not for what is happening right now at the surface level. It's not because to say, oh my gosh, there's an earthquake over there, we need to send love and light to all these people. I'm not saying don't care about those people, but the intention that needs to be set is that we're sending that love and light to acknowledge it's to the history of that land. It is to the ancestral intelligence, which is the energy, the vibration in that land that has been held, locked in those ancestors' coding, put it that way, the collective imprint, right? So what you do is you send your energy to those specific places to say, hey, I acknowledge, even if you don't know the exact history, right? I personally looked up the history of what just happened in New Zealand, just to follow the download that I was getting. As soon as I got the download, I was like, let me see if this is what it is. And I started to go into the rabbit hole, so to speak, of digging up the history of what happened, particularly in that land. And maybe that is something that you all can do as well. If you hear of a disaster, instead of going, oh my God, these poor people, send your love and light to them, yes. But look up what has happened in that land. Send your love and light and acknowledgement to what is being revealed, what the friction is releasing in that land. There you go. There is something being released. So as that light pours in and it hits that particle of resistance in that particular landlocked spot, it blasted away, like Wolverine being blasted by the Phoenix. It blasted away, and like pressure cleaning, and you are now sending in that, pouring in that love and light through the love frequency. And you can do it also while you're grounding. It'll be really good if you can be doing it in a place where you can ground and send it through the earth codes into the earth. Imagine that you're sending this light, from your heart. You can open up your crown, collect any celestial energies through your soul star into your crown, activate it into your heart, send it down through your roots, through the soles of your feet into the earth, and send it with intention into whatever location, wherever it is, at whatever part of the earth, that you send acknowledgement, that you send restoration, revitalization, and you are actively supporting the release of that resistance. Does that make sense? Faithfully, I'm making sense. These are just some things that we can do in being intentional and purposeful and working with the light grid. For those of you who are light warriors, those of you who are lighthouses, and the light colonies are all coming online. This is all very purposeful and intentional. Pay attention to what you hear happening around you, not to be like, oh man, the world is falling apart. No, the world is going through a cleansing, a purging. The earth, the world may be falling apart. Yes, 3D, because there's no room for 3D. We are being updated, upgraded into the 5th dimension. 3D has to expand itself into the 4th and 5th dimension. So anyone who is still on a 3D processor is going to have a hard time if they are not 5D compatible. So yeah, if you want to cling to the old world, if you want to cling to the particles of 3D and the particles of resistance, then yes, your world is falling apart. That world is completely crumbling. Those timelines are collapsing. That world is falling apart. The earth, is in an upward spiral. The earth is cleansing itself, it's purging, and you have to decide what side of the fence you want to be on. Do you want to be a part of the ascension, the planetary ascension that is cleansing, that is being a part of the activation, that is also helping your soul unfolding journey? Or do you want to stay in the world that is falling apart? Ashe? Actively support the release of resistance. Yes, Ashe. Yes, that's what we're doing. So by doing this, you actively, thank you, support the release of this resistance. Ooh, I like the way that sounds. Thank you. Let me say it again. Actively support the release of resistance, because that's what's happening. So when you see these things happen in the world, just notice it and say, oh, that's a release of resistance. I actively support that, because then you're speaking to the truth of what has happened. That's Pluto. This is what Pluto in Aquarius is about. This is part of it. Not all of it, but part of it. In order for us to enter into the evolved aspects of the age of Aquarian, the evolved aspects of, yeah, well, I'm going to say the age of Aquarian and the Bronze Age. We have to see humanity in a true aspect and have accountability for where we have been untrue and inhumane. And that's what's coming up. The release of that resistance, because that poses as a resistance in the land just as much as it poses as a resistance in your land, in your mind-body complex. So don't get too frustrated when things are coming up in your life as well. When you're seeing the tornadoes and the cyclones in your life, don't fight with it, because what you resist will persist. It is for you to support the release of resistance. It is for you to say, you know what? Thank you. I needed this experience. What is this bringing to me? What is the information that I need in our life, world, and affairs? I know it's easy to fall for the whole, hey, oh, somebody said hi, hi. Raven Baker said hi, peace, love, and light. Ashe. And it's easy to fall into the doom and gloom. It's easy to fall into, oh my God, what is happening in this world? Like, we have to unplug. Plug out of the politics, the geopolitics, and the governance. These are decepting tools. These are Decepticons. Tools of deception that want to keep us in resistance. They want to keep you in fear, which is the #1 block of the root. And when you have fear, then it gets to keep you. If you're always in fear, then it's easier to always be in guilt, the #1 block of the sacral. And then it's easier to keep you in shame, because if you're guilty, you're ashamed in your identity body, the solar plexus, the #1 block of the solar plexus. And then there is grief about what you have lost, #1 block of the heart. So how can we expand when we're contracting? Those blocks make us contract. So when we expand, we can step into the heart expansion, which is where we're going to in this maturation. So faithfully, you were able to stick with me through that. Is there anything else? What does Spirit want us to know? There was something that came to me about when I spoke about the ancestors. That house that was on fire, it was coming to me that was just the beginning. Like that when we were saying a lot of people were saying the ancestors are coming back, and like, I mean, they're always here, right? There's no coming back. They're always here, especially if they live through us. It was like an alarm. It was the beginning of all this ancestral energy, which is information that is coming up through the land. And that is the energetic retribution. Again, it's not for payback. It's not to hit back at the colonizers. It is to bring revelation of truth. And that revelation of truth within humanity is what Pluto in Aquarius is. Being Aquarius is humanity, and that is what is going to help us step forward into innovations, right? Because that's what also Aquarius is about, futuristic technology. We have to understand that we are the technology, though. The earth itself is a huge piece of technology that is holding encoded information, and so too are we, technology that is holding encoded information. So wherever you are in your alignment is how you're going to show up for your assignment. And we have to remember that it's all vibrational. What are you aligning with? And the accountability is helping you to see what you have aligned with. So it's not about just saying, but what have you been doing? Because that shows the line, the thread. That is what the universe is going to give you. It's going to say, so you've been doing that. This is your alignment, and this is what you get. This is the type of assignment that you can be on according as per your alignment. So it is up to you to change your course in order to be on the alignment that you want to be on, in order to manifest what we are here to manifest, the fifth dimension in time. We're going deeper into that. So I say all of that because there's more. I probably still didn't explain it as the way I saw it, but faithfully you've gotten it. You've gotten as much, some of it, much of it, all of it maybe. I'm going to speak more on it. There was more about it's all interactive with the Aurora Bora. I'm seeing those colors again, the purple and the green. Let's talk about the purple and green. Okay, let's talk about the purple and green. The purple being the crown, the green being the heart. So if you notice those colors that you're seeing, it's even highlighting to you. Colors are codes, are light codes. So it's speaking to you about the earth, which is holding the Schumann resonance, also known as the truth resonance. The earth is the heart. So that green is the heart chakra, and that heart chakra is the earth. That purple is the celestial. It is the crown, which is our gateway to the cosmos. So you're seeing the connection of the gateway to the cosmos with the earth, with our heart expansion. So you're seeing a lot of that. And I remember in one of the colors, I saw it look like a sandwich, like a purple sandwich. So there was the green and there was the purple in the middle. And I even saw it like that on a map that someone sent me in regards to the snowstorm that is coming across. And I was like, see, now you see why I saw that storm coming across the northern, like I just saw it coming like that. And that's how I knew. For some reason, something was saying it's going to get colder. There's something coming across. And this is how the influx of light is going to affect North America at this point. At this point, because it may be more. There's much that has been done inhumane on this land. So depend on where that friction is picking up. There may be earthquake or whatever storms come about from it. But so far I just saw it's going to be colder. So I knew that was coming across. Everything that is hitting the earth as those solar winds hit the earth seems to be wrapping itself around the northern hemisphere. It may go a little bit below the equator, it may go lower, but so far around the northern hemisphere. And if you notice, that's where certain things are happening, like the flooding in Sicily. And I believe there was some other earthquakes somewhere in the Middle East. There's a couple of things kind of happening. Volcanic activity, all of this is part of the earth having its release of resistance. So when we acknowledge that, we learn to appreciate the light. We learn to appreciate the disturbance. I was even seeing it as what happened in Jamaica. Yeah, again, I saw it through ancestral coding, which again is just information through the lineage. And where there was bad blood, so to speak, in the land. And that's why the west side got hit like that. right? Aside from it being man-made and even if man-made made it, there's a reason why it hit the way it hit. There's still a reason for that, it happening in that particular place. And that's where the bad blood is, as opposed to more of the eastern side. And this has to do with the ancestors, like of the Maroons, which is why I'm doing the retreat in that way when that time comes. We'll talk about that later. But it was just to see, as Spirit was showing me, because of that inhumane or those injustices that have happened, the collective upheaval that lacked collective compassion. Let me say it that way. The places where these things are happening is where there was collective upheaval that lacked collective compassion. And a lot of this stuff has happened within the past 4 to 6,000 years, through the age of the Ram and the age of Pisces. The age of the Ram, where it really took a pivotal point, because that is where the ego started to go into its egoic shadows, and mankind was like all man for himself, and the patriarchal rule and all of that other stuff. A lot of these inhumane collective upheavals happened during the age of the Ram, and then continue to make excuses for it or carry it out during the Piscean age, right? The Piscean age was supposed to be the age that we become fishers of men. We go into the age of the believing for ourselves, to prepare for the age of the knowing. And that was corrupted by the age of the Ram. So a lot of what is happening now is allowing for counteraction, allowing for recoursing in our souls, in our souls individually and collectively as a people. All part of recognition. To re-know is to recognize. So we're being here. All of this is happening so that we realize to recognize, to remember. And the remembering is the soul synapses. That is what is activating on the light grid. The more that we remember who we are, and the remembering is the activity of expansion. The soul synapses allows us to expand. It allows us to be open portals and channels of light. So it's really key, important to be a part of the remembering. Ashe? So let me see what we have here. And then if there's any more, we'll go into it later. I really wanted to talk about what this influx of light is doing with us, and how it shows up on the earth, especially to kind of take out the fear factor of, oh my God, this is happening, oh my God, that's happening, into, oh, how beautiful. And this is the maturation of Venus, the understanding that says, oh, how beautiful. Oh, so I don't have to fight that? That's wisdom. The maturation of Mars. This is what is happening with the personal planets, so that we can communicate differently the light codes that are coming through the sun, the maturation of the sun and Mercury. Mercury being our communicator. This is what Third Eye Atlas is bringing to us through this encoding. We have to harmonize through these personal planets that are our energy bodies within us. It's not just space globes out there. It's not just planets out there. It is celestial bodies and energies that are in here, in us. Ashe? Could it also be that the northern hemisphere is where the misappropriation of the truth spread through? That definitely makes sense, being that a lot of the colonizing has come through the people of the northern hemisphere, the Caucasoid Mountains, as we all know, the Caucasian persuasion, right? And this is not a blaming game. They all had to play their part. It was part of the dissension, right? This is why I don't look at everything as hi, peace, love, and light. This is why I don't look at things as all evil like that. There are certain things that are meant to happen to sharpen us. It is part of the experience that we are to have, so that we can have the transcendence that we need. And so These things over the past 4 to 6,000 years were happening while we were on the Yuga descent, coming from the Golden Age into the Silver Age, into the Bronze Age, into the Iron Age. And I want to say the last 4 to 6,000 years would have been more of the when we were at the lower part of the descent, coming from the Bronze Age into the Iron Age. So it got real ugly. This is part of the descent, the falling apart, the breaking away, the test of time, so to speak, to see how you're going to be while you're operating in the Iron Age. All of us, humanity, over the past 4 or 5 thousand years of being in the Yuga, in the Iron Age, which is the Kali Yuga cycle. And so we're now on the ascension side. And so all of that debris is falling away. All of the waste from all of that is falling away. So yeah, it was part of the dissension that had to happen. It just happened to happen through them. And so it's not to blame or get back or say, yeah, they got to be punished. The earth is not punishing anyone. It is part of the light influx. It is part of the light penetration and the light exposure. It is part of what is happening. In order for us to ascend, is saying, okay, you had the experience. Now, what's the wisdom that you gained out of it? All right? You can feel the creator power of any soul. You can feel the creator. Yep, I can. Can you feel me? I could feel. I'm clear sentient. So yes, I can feel the creator power in all of us, whether good, bad, or ugly. It's all creative power. I was going to say something, and then I saw that. And thank you for your feeling and your love and your light. And thank you for being a creator in your soul's delight. There is so much. I'm trying to get back on where I was. Either way, more will come. Is there any other question or comment as we are having this conversation in time? There was something I did want to point out while speaking on light penetration, everything that had to happen, the descent, the Caucasian. Yes, it was okay, Spirit, bring it back, because it's important to know this too. Because I was asked the question of, while we're sending light to those particular parts in the land, the question was, what about the descendants of that land? And yes, it will be potent if they do. It would be more potent if they do. The descendants of the victims of that land, as well as the descendants of the colonizers or the victimizers, the oppressors, the descendants of them, it would be more potent coming from them, but it doesn't have to, because we're all one mind consciousness. And it is also potent if you are doing the soul work. If you're a light warrior and you're really doing soul, what do I call it? Soul work, as in shadow work and soul excavation, and you're really removing the debris from your soul, removing karmic trauma, you're just as powerful as the descendants of that land, or the descendants of the colonizers of that particular collective upheaval. Either way, whether you are either one of those or not, as you send your love and light, you send your support for the release of the resistance, then you are helping to clear the debris away and bringing recognition to that particular place that allows for the light to flow through with ease. It is the energetic retribution that we're looking for, right? So with that, that's what you had for me to say. So, okay, yeah, wanted us to know that this is how we can help with this process. And you don't have to know detail for detail what happened, but you can look it up if you choose to look up what happened in that particular land. If it'll help you send more direct energy, more. What I'm getting is, the more aware you are of the truth, the more that your light is willing to expose that truth, to help unveil it, to help reveal it, You're willing to be a part of that collective revelation. And that is what is empowering. That is what is helping to clear that. I'm not saying you are the one that is clearing it, but we all play our part. So that is what we can do actively within ourselves when we hear of these upheavals, when we hear of the disturbance and the friction in the land, or when you hear of disturbance and friction even within your own life, world, and affairs, to simply say, hey, I send love and light to support the release of this resistance, and do your best to find where it is within you. Do your soul's work that helps unlock the memories deep, deep, deep within your soul so you can have that revelation. That's why the last part of the book of Revelation, is that important. You need that conclusion in order to have the rebirth, the ascension, to open your next chapter is the rebirth. You need to enter into the next introduction stage, and you can't unless you have a conclusion. So the revelation is needed. Ashe. What does it say? The gap you miss. You can feel Thai. I think it says Thai. True. Is that CA? I think it's, I'm seeing mixed language. I'm not sure if it's mixed language, but true. Call the true soul wisdom. Oh, true. Okay. Oh, you spell things differently. Okay, I see what's happening here. I see you, soul, from one soul to another. Call the true soul wisdom, Ashe. And this is what I look into now, is seeing that wisdom in everything. Giving true respect to the revelation being that wisdom. Acknowledging that the experience is bringing you into that wisdom. That is the maturation. That is the spiritual maturation we are moving towards, into North Node in Pisces, as Third Eye Atlas is leading us into that. Ashe. So thank you for coming through. All of you, and you, oh so true. Continue to follow the vibrations, to hear the call, to tune into the frequencies, the higher frequencies, listening to the light codes, seeing the light codes, paying attention to the colors that you see. For those of you who witnessed the Aurora Boreal, you are being called to look at the heart and the crown connectivity. All right, those of you that are seeing 222s, you're looking at the harmony of duality, the personal planets Venus and Mars that are harmonizing the beauty and understanding with the wisdom in this experience. And when we look at things differently, we change our perspective, we adapt to the truth of this light, and we become a part of all of this, rather than the resistance and being in a fearful state. Stepping into that light. Walk into the light. All right, so remember, we got the calendar coming up on the 11/11 portal next Saturday, which is the 31st of February, for those of you who go by that calendar. Be a part of opening this shift in your timeline and being a part of your cosmic design. And so with that said, oh, there was something I had got, but you know what? I will do this in another video, and I will share with you all the download that I got about this collective karma that is being released. So look out for that video. I may label it collective karma being released. So when you look out for that, you'll get the little download about that. Ashe. Finally, my final energy upgrade. Ashe, Ashe. Let me upgrade you. We getting upgraded. That's all it is. We can be happy and joyous about these times. It's not doom and gloom. It's like, oh snap, the earth is turning over. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Just look out for what you know. Acknowledge what universe is guiding you to. If it says move, then you need to move. If you're in some landlocked resistance zones, better look up the land that you're in. I think that's how you could be proactive. If for any of you that want to know, Look up the land that you live in and look up the history in that land, the indigenous people of that land, and what has happened. Some of you can feel the energy of negativity in particular places like Georgia. I don't want to be nowhere in Georgia because it is, I could feel it just driving through there. It is terrible things have happened, collective upheaval, terrible things in Georgia. So, and I'm in Florida, it ain't that much better either. So know where you are, know your particles of resistance so you can know where you want to be. Because the spiritual elite, those of us who are in the spiritual elite, no shot, no shade to anybody else, but those spiritual warriors, you are needed to continue to be the spiritual leaders in this crusade, so to speak, in this transcendence in time. So if you are a part of the spiritual elite, then we can't just sit here idly watching everything like, oh, solar flares, oh, aurora bora, oh, look at all that's hoarding information and not doing anything about it. So if you are part of the spiritual elite, act like you know. It is time to acknowledge the wisdom, acknowledge the light, energy, and information, and make a move, make a conscious decision. And since you are needed, then you are responsible, able to respond, and accountable, able to account for what has happened in your land. And if so, know that you only have but so much time in that particular land, because as light continues to hit, if it's a spot of resistance, it's going to get hit. So you want to get to the places that have least resistance. Ashe? Right? Be careful of these doors you're opening. Them demons will see you. Ashe, ashe. Listen. Be careful of all your doors. I don't know which way you mean it, but I'm saying ashe because I know the way. I know I can open up my energy, 7 seals. These are the 7 seals, your energy centers. Those are the 7 seals that need to be open, right? The doors that people need to be careful of is those sliding doors that they keep backsliding into. Those hiding doors and those hiding spaces, those secret spaces, those are the places that they need to be careful of. Because that is where the demons are sitting, in your hideout spots, where you're not acknowledging your unhealed wounds. So some people may say, oh, well, I don't want to look at that because I don't want. No, look at those unhealed wounds, because it's not going to go away and it's going to be a particle of resistance. So you're responsible for removing that. Ashe. It is all the cosmos that is upgrade. Yep, the cosmos are being upgraded, so are we. It's a cosmic upgrade. Test my soul power as an archangel and feel Michael after. Ashe, ashe. So, ashe, ashe. I am, I think it says intemporal. You spell things differently, so I may be saying that wrong. Temporal. This makes it hard. Like, this is definitely a new way of reading, but ashe, ashe. Know your way, know where it is that we're going. Thank you for those of you who have come in faithfully. This has helped with some of what you see going on around you, and most importantly, it dispels the fears. Let your shoulders down, relax when you see what's going on, because you know what it really is. That was the purpose of this. Know what's really happening. So faithfully, you got that, and there's going to be more to come. So thank you. Look out for what is to come. And I believe that's all. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Enjoying the Saturday Night Live. Past, present, future, existing at the same time simultaneously. Yes, know that. Peace, love, and light. Ashe.